Hello. Welcome back to Forge Champions. I love getting told when we're coming on. Welcome back as we'll be kicking off game 2 between Nvision and E9 Brotherhood to find out who is going to be making it to the UKLC and who is going to have to fight it out a little bit longer. Because, you know, loser of this game isn't out. That's the key thing. I mean, sorry, loser of this game, if it's Nvision, they still got another game to play because they got one win. But if E9 lose here, they're not out. They actually can still come back. They have to just beat out either Darkspawn or Bulldog tomorrow.
I mean, the crucial thing is going to be that momentum, though, because we saw that happen to Hybrid in the earlier stages. You lose one match, it sets you off your game. You lose another. And remember, whichever team they face tomorrow will be on an upward trend. They'll have They'll have just beaten their opponent in a best of 3. And then they'll have another one with that chance to get in the UKLC. So you definitely don't want to be put in that situation.
Yeah, all right. Thank you very much for that, EJBY.
You can't do this to me. Even Orcs can't keep a straight face.
Is it EJBY that does it?
I don't only know the Dutch name, mate.
I thought a pussycat. I did see a pussycat.
Oh, thank you for
that. What was the...
Are you a Yumi player?
What was that great one Jake did? You know, that wham, bam.
I don't remember.
There you go. It was great.
Was that what you said?
I don't remember.
We all have our moment. Chronicle hasn't had it.
Oh,
you've made some memeable faces though.
Yeah,
that's the key thing.
Like, expressionist.
We've given you know your Prosper mistake. Me and my absolutely perfect telling of an Alawi ultimate.
Yep.
And Chronicle with his faces. So I mean, like we all offer.
That's how it goes.
Stuff. I don't know what Scoundrel's done.
Bird song.
Oh no, I know what he's done. A lot of things actually. Things I can't say on air.
Yeah.
He said them on air, not me. Anyway, let's talk about the picks and bans. Let's talk about this next game. What do we need to see change? Because the onus is really on E9 here to change, not Nvision, because they played what they had well.
I'd like to see E9 go on the blue side. I would like to see them draw the Karthus ban from the other team, and then hopefully that frees something up so Denvoxton gets either his Caitlyn or his Vayne. I doubt he'll get his Caitlyn, but he might get that Vayne. And then go for something more aggressive in the bot lane, because I think the Morgana is just liable, especially when you pick it so early, it's just liable to get shoved in by something like a Zilean and not really have any impact. If you change that Morgana pick something like a Thresh, which we saw in yesterday's games, Jason can be so much more aggressive and make so many more plays, which could get them the lead in the bot lane, which they needed.
And in conjunction to that, I feel like the Jarvan pick for me didn't really work out. It not just, I feel like the kind of the unfamiliarity with that matchup against the Mundo, dying with the flash still up in a 1v1 is not something that should ever happen. But more importantly, I know that Lina can have a big impact if you put it in on one of these highly aggressive champions where he can make a little bit more of an early splash and then snowball that. They didn't really give him the opportunity with the Jarvan flex. I understand the value of being able to flex that pick, but I kind of want to see him on something else.
I don't rate the Jarvan flex that much anymore because it's not that great in the top lane since the numbers got tuned down. It's still pretty good in the jungle, but I feel like if you pick it that early, stick it in the jungle. If you don't want to put it in the jungle, then you shouldn't have picked it.
Yeah, that's fair enough. All right, well, into picks and bans. The Zilean and the Caitlyn getting banned away, so we're not going to see Denvoxton's Caitlyn, but we're not going to see Borrelia's Aurelia. I think we saw that once, and I don't think we'll ever see it again.
I think the Zilean ban is E9 saying, look, that was a problem in bot lane. Morgana is fine, but we don't want to go up against Zilean. But the issue is, they actually banned away 2 other supports. They banned away the Soraka and the Karma. Those are available even if they ban that Zilean. So Nvision going to have a lot of choice, and likely going to see the Vladimir come out as the 3rd ban from Brotherhood, because I don't think they want to give that one over to Borrelia.
All right, well, I want to see this Karthus up at some point. There it is. Don't want to give that over to Infinity.
Which is interesting because they could have first picked it, because Psyche, he did play it yesterday. And that does mean the Vladimir is available for Borrelia. Things like the Akali are still up in the air.
Maybe they're just going to first pick the Vladimir away from Borrelia. Would not surprise me too much. I feel like Vladimir is a pick where you're open to a rise, but I don't think we've really seen Nvision value that rise. So the Vladimir pick has a little bit more value, especially since, like I said, you also take it away from Borrelia. But it doesn't look like it, and this does mean that Nvision will have the possibility of going once again for the Azir and the Vladimir, and they don't even waste a second on it. And I got to say, I do like the Akali pickup. I feel like Vixen had a good performance with that. That was not the problem, but giving Nvision such big comfort picks is a risk to take.
All right, well, it looks like a lot of comfort picks are coming through here as
I mean, why not?
They're thinking about getting that Zed over to 3z3. It did so well into Vixen's Akali in the last game.
There were some points where it was rough. And the one concern I'm going to have is that in the 1v1, it did struggle a little bit, and if you don't have the Karthus to back you up, that's where I can be a bit concerned. So I want to see Infinity on something that can contribute to that 2v2 mid, that can really put that Akali into the ground.
I think the key thing as well was actually like when Vixen was dying on Akali, it was more, I mean, there was like 1 or 2 insane outplays by Freezy3, but like 90% of those and a lot of those early ones were just him just diving under a tower stupidly and then getting killed. So
yeah,
we are seeing the Jarvan get picked up. Like you said, you'd like to see it maybe go in the jungle, more likely go in the jungle. Going to take their Jace as well here. I like this because Jace has been typically picked as like a counter to that Akali. And then it means they can't just like flex the Akali top lane and then give a Jace over. But I mean, I am forgetting there's a Vladimir and a Zed already.
With the Vlad Zed already picked, they wouldn't take it. But I like it because it's giving Lina something mechanical, something that you can trade heavily into the Vladimir and punish him. They aren't just sitting back and going, oh, we'll stick the Jarvan top lane. They want aggressive picks. Ooh. That does leave the Hecarim to go over to Infinity. So both these junglers proactive, more so Jarvan in the early levels, but post 6, Hecarim can make a big impact. But now, neither of the teams lock their bot lane in. I feel like Nvision probably going to ban away that Morgana, and Brotherhood, they want to get rid of that Zyra Khan that we see so much priority from Nvision's bot lane.
Alrighty, well, let's see what Nvision decide to ban away as they're taking away that Nautilus. What are our bans? What are we expecting?
Nautilus, Morgana from Nvision, and the EJBY Brotherhood. Well, they're banning the Sivir, and then I think the other ban is going to be either Zyra or Rakan, whichever one they're more scared of. Probably the Zyra.
Really, I'd say Rakan. I think that UK meal deal was one of the prime reasons why they were able to win fights, even when they were really far behind in their games against Bulldog. And even though Rakan in of himself, I think, is less impactful than the Zyra will be, and less flexible, I still would really like, just because of how good UK meal deal looks on that, because the initiation from the Rakan with the Grand Ends and the quickness combined with a Onslaught of Shadows and a Hemo Plague is one of the things that got Nvision that won like multiple games. But it will be the Morgana ban.
They're just leaving the Zyra Khan open, which seems really weird to me. I feel like Nvision,
you can pick it away,
we'll just pick it.
Yeah, but you can pick the Rakan away.
I mean, you can, in theory, if that's what Shazin wants to do, but I feel like you're still going to be in a decent position for the side of Nvision because you can take things like Galio. Galio has a really good matchup in Rakan.
That's what I'm thinking. Maybe they have something in mind for the Zyra Khan. Because like you said, the Galio does well into it. You can pick yourself an ADC, but can also kind of combo it well with that. You look at things that are open. The Lucian is open, but they go for the fresh here. Maybe it's going to be like something like a fresh Lucian.
I feel like the Morgana. Lucian's
sorry.
Sorry. Kai'Sa is likely what we'll see Denvoxton go towards. Or maybe the Varus is a perfectly viable option.
Kalista? I mean, fresh Kalista is already... I don't know if Dan Voxney
I don't know if you've seen UK fresh Kalistas. No, it's not as good as everyone else says it.
Oh, that's a UK classic, though.
That is a comfort pick for the UK, but we'll see whether or not they're going to opt into that as... No, they switch out last second, and then they go back. I'm getting baited. They go for Tristan.
I think it's weird that Shazin, he's confident on this Morgana, and he's just fighting the Zyra Khan, but to me, this says that he's not happy with how last game went, and he didn't feel like he was proactive enough. This game, he's like, I want to make things happen. And if you look across the board, everyone in EJBY Brotherhood, they've picked champions where they can make things happen. There's an aggressive early ganker. They have 2 high potential solo laners with a lot of skill, and then the Thresh just on it. That is an all-in lane if I've ever seen one.
It's a really confident draft from the Brotherhood, and I really like that because I can imagine a lot of teams, after losing that last game, they look at that game, they say, you know, made a lot of mistakes, draft didn't really work out well, we got really shut down in an individual sense as well, with Vixen getting repeatedly killed, and of course the 1v1 between Lina and Brelia not working out. But instead they say, we're still going to go for these aggressive champions with a lot of playmaking potential, we're going to try and make it work. Just forget that last game, reset your mental, and go into this second game. But then if I look at Nvision, there's so much comfort.
Yeah,
that's always scary.
I'm going to play a little game with you guys, right? I want you to tell me why E9 are going to take this game. Give me a breakdown of why you think they're going to take this game, and you're going to prepare one because you're going to do Nvision. Okay?
I think E9 are going to take this game because they have Lina on Jace, and he's been an absolute monster when he's on champions he's comfortable on. He can actually murder that Vladimir. Vixen on the Akali. If you don't have the Karthus ult to back up Z3, I think he loses that 1v1. And in the bot lane, we saw how aggressive Denvoxton and Shazin were when they had a Thresh in the bot lane. Level 1, they're burning summoners. I think they have the early game tools to make this game theirs.
All right, Nvision, tell me.
So Nvision, we've already seen that even if they fall behind early, which looking at the first game, I don't even necessarily think is going to happen, even with all the tools available, because last time they had a good early game as well. Nvision has so good in making these mid to late game team fights happen. UK meal deal and Spark are on their most comfortable picks. We see once again Brelia, I think, still has a 100% win rate on the Vladimir that we've seen so far. And so much comfort, I'm always going to be scared, and Nvision going to take a 2-0.
All right, well, you're hearing it from our analysts here. I'm looking at the wrong camera. I'm getting completely baited out today right now. I'm excited to get into this game because
There's so
this
many
could potentially...
cameras.
This is everywhere.
You guys don't know, but there's like 50 cameras, and we need to like swap between them.
Yeah, and one guy comes in, he actually just presses a button on the back, and that's how we switch. There's no fancy board for it. There's just a guy running backwards and forwards, switching the camera angles. There you go.
Once again. No, honestly, though, I think it's going to be a free-game series. I hope we get a free-game series.
I worked it out. I got it.
I'm trying to figure out what camera I'm on half the time.
So
we're on that one
We're
right
on the
now.
middle one.
Yeah.
When it focuses on you two, that's the left one. When it focuses on me, it's the right one.
Yeah. I told you this.
Hey.
Oh, I see.
Were you not listening to me?
No, there we go. So we're on that one.
He never listens
All
to
right,
me.
well, it only took me 2 games, but I've now figured out what the cameras are doing and what's going on. So, yeah.
No, like I said, I think it's going to be a free-game series because even though I really like the draft from Nvision here, I feel like big reason why the Brotherhood fell so far behind the early game was they were playing like they were playing yesterday when they were 10k gold ahead. Right, when they had the full advantage on Darkspawn, they were making these errors that we didn't see them make before. And I think they just played really overconfident. I think going into this game, they're going to be a lot more grounded. And then they're going to have their mechanics overtake and actually be able to get that early game dominance that we've seen them get so far.
You'd hope so because they had a bit of a sloppy series when they were up against Darkspawn. Because that game too, they were so far ahead. And we were like, this game is done. But they gave chances again and again to Darkspawn.
But they didn't do that in the first game.
No, in the first game they were fine, but it's still, that game raised some concerns for me. And that's what I'm worried about, is why I'm not super surprised to see Nvision take this game 1. I think they can bounce back, but the problem is that even if they get a lead, they need to keep things rolling, because things like the Jace, things like the Akali, if they start to fall behind, if you aren't crisp on your mechanics with them, you will end up costing your team the series.
Well, we had a quick technical pause, so we should be going into game fairly soon, but that's just why we're having a little bit more talk.
Now we should switch it around. Now Ox is going to tell why Nvision is going to win.
Yeah, go for it.
I can go first. So because I just have prep time.
Yeah.
So like I said, E9 Brotherhood, right? It's a team that we've already seen done really well. They've been able to hit that first seed out of all the open teams, had a great showing in Forge of Champions, beat out Hybrid, beat out Nvision before in a best of 1, able to play on the back of great mechanical plays like Lina, like Vixen in the last game on Akali. If Karthus wasn't there, would have easily snowballed that game. And then Voxney, who, while looking shaky last game, I think he's going to look a lot better on this Tristana. He's going to get fed, he's going to get ahead, and he's going to reset, which we've seen so many times in the UK leagues.
Right, well, my argument is better jungler wins, and last game, Psyche was a better jungler.
I mean, you kind of counted your point when you're like, if the Karthus didn't exist,
Infinity?
he would have lost. You do mean Infinity.
Infinity, yeah.
But
I keep getting them mixed up.
I mean, Karthus was played by Psyche yesterday.
I keep getting them mixed up. Their champion pools are so similar because they play Karthus, they play Kha'Zix, they're just switching between them. Yeah, Infinity, better jungler wins, and I think he'll win.
I mean,
okay.
Infinity play. What's going on?
I can push him around.
No, you can't.
I don't want to stand here in the middle of this.
Actually, I've seen you tackle a white ball. I don't want to be
you've seen what you can do.
I'm stout, I'm grounded.
No, honestly, though, like, I don't want to get tackled by you, because that'd not be fun.
I've seen what's happened on the whiteboard. Look at it.
He's actually, that poor whiteboard's got massive dent in.
Yeah.
He's got his back to the wall right now. Or back to Orcs. Like,
he is scared,
hiding.
which I understand.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm amazed the easel survived, to be honest.
Me too.
You guys did odd after last time, right?
I mean, if this pause is going on for too much longer, I'm going to whip out the old whiteboard. Hopefully nothing's written on it. Find out.
I mean, the Nvision logo, I think...
What do we want to draw?
I think I can draw that logo. Nvision.
I think you probably could.
I hope so.
Let's actually... let's get guys on Twitter, actually. Twitch. Oh, Twitter. I'll do Twitter. Yeah. Use the hashtag Forge of Champions. Let us know who you think Chronicler should draw in the pre-game for the next game.
That's not how I thought that sentence was going to go.
That's what we're going to do. So we're going to get you to draw something in the next Champ Select. You guys over at home, at LVP UK, hashtag Forge of Champions, let us know what you want Chronicler to draw. I mean, I've drawn Ornn on the first Forge of Champions. It was...
okay.
Bad.
It was not
it was like a cat man, not a goat dude. It was just bad. I didn't know what he wore as well. I gave him like a...
Does Ornn wear things?
He wears like an apron. Like a big, kind of like a blacksmith.
I find it's
like
really
a blacksmith
hard when you
apron.
think about those characters have the very detailed splash shots as to what they wear.
Yeah, well, we're loading into the game, thank God.
Don't have to
We're
listen
finding
to
out
us.
whether or not Nvision can get themselves a 2-0 into the UK LC, or if E9 can bite back as they take to the Summoner's Rift.
Like I said, I'm hoping for a 3-game series here. I think both these teams really active. Like you said last time, I think at 9 minutes we had 16 kills. Even at 8 minutes.
Look, 5 E9 members all stacked in the bush. I wonder what they're going to go for.
Is it going to be? It's not going to be another late invade. Like, they already
I
pulled
feel
this
like
against
they're going to do a
Nvision.
late invade.
They've
but
already done this and it didn't work. And they're starting top. They're starting red side, so I don't see it happening. We're seeing backs come through.
I think they were just scared of the late invade coming against them. They know the power of the late invade.
I mean, they got the successful invade of in game number 1, but it didn't really help them.
Yeah.
Well, there's no shenanigans happening in this early game.
Just no action whatsoever.
They're just... It's like it's the calm before the storm.
Ah.
Now, Psyche is so paranoid about being invaded. He's flagged that bush twice just to establish vision. That's how worried he is that someone could come over and steal the buff.
Honestly, I don't mind that. I understand E9. They realize, like, if we lose this game to cheese, like we cheese them, it's going to be the worst feeling ever.
It's karma, that's what it is.
It is karma. Karma wasn't banned this round, though. Was she?
No. But I feel like in the Morgana, it's not as... In the Morgana, the
Outside
karma
of-
was a good pick,
yeah.
but you're now in the Rakan.
Yeah.
We are focusing on the bot lane, understandably, because remember, Shay's been very aggressive in these level 1 trades.
Just getting slapped by birds right now.
Double slap by the birds.
It will get level 2 first with the way this push is going, and Psyche's actually potentially looking for an early gank. Now, she'll find too much, and he's going to wonder about it more. Did pick up both the red and the blue on the bot side of the map, so stolen away Infinity's blue buff.
Now with that ward for 3z3 plays, they actually know that happened. So Infinity can head over to the blue side if he wants to. But you can see that Psyche's making that beeline towards his blue buff. But with the Psyche getting spotted out on the ward, Infinity decides he doesn't want to go for that fight, doesn't want to go for that trade. So he just steps away. It's going to be a free buff start here for Psyche.
Yeah, I'm just going to say if you invade without flash, because obviously Infinity's Hecarim has Ignite, you deserve your death, because yeah, that will not go well, especially when you see Lina is so shoved in the top side. He will absolutely be there as soon as Psyche called for it.
They're going to say, I hope that Shayzin and Voxney respect the fact that you kind of know that Infinity has got to be in your bot side jungle, and you're pushed up really far. Now Freeze at 3, also making his way down bot, and they can't get caught so far out here.
They need to be careful, that grand entrance into the hook. They're actually trying to find the damage down, the flash out. They do still have a lantern to work with, and then Voxy's trying to find the kill, the flash forward. He's low HP, the minions chasing him down, the knockback. Den Voxney will fall as Infinity finds first blood. It's gifted to Spark.
Oh, and UK Meal Deal just survives on so little HP, and then Infinity comes in and cleans up the kill on Den Voxney, and he looked pretty tilted as he waited for his fate at the end there.
Oh, that is so sad. They even gave the time over to give it to Spark as well. So giving it to the enemy AD carry, so crucial here. And this now means Infinity can steal away those Krugs and Sizen just stopping bases.
And that goes completely differently if they find, because then you get the reset, you can jump out of there as the teleport comes in. Brelia, though, at a really, really big deficit. We saw last time they played the Vladimir. He wasn't really punished at all. Mind you, though, that Spark has not been able to back yet due to Shazin just categorically denying it, meaning that he's actually going to miss out on a lot if they can get the shove on. Then Vox now also gone back and pick up the coal to make sure that, even though he's behind, a little bit of a catch-up mechanism there.
UK Meal Deal going to use his time to roam up mid. I believe they did see Psyche on the ward there, yet they're pinging it out, so aware of his position. Dixon going to go for a pretty heavy trade, but the Shurikens in return will equalize it between them.
You get that with a Shadow Slash, you get the Electrocute off, and it's just an easy win as now Den Voxney being found out here by UK Meal Deal, who just comes out ahead from that trade, and Manson Drake spawns up as the first Drake of this game. Could be pretty hotly contested considering how crucial these plates are going to be for the snowball gold.
And Psyche hasn't really had an impact in terms of actual ganks, but the pressure he's put on the top side means that Borrelia is so far behind, and they're really doing their best to shut him out of this lane. Also, the Executioner's Calling is a very first item just to make sure that they can absolutely bleed him out. It's kind of ironic considering he's playing the Vladimir, and I think they might be setting up for a dive here as well.
Yeah, it's a bit tricky to dive that Vladimir because he has that pool, but when he's that low in HP, got to be very concerned for Borrelia here.
Infinity making his way up top, though.
Yeah, the shot blast actually doesn't quite find its mark, and now Infinity looks to sign himself Psyche. But smite away, Infinity secures his Krugs. And he's quite content, but Borrelia does need to be careful, just taking poke after poke from Lina, and with the Execution's Calling, it means the sustain is just oh so much harder.
Yeah, well, he did just get up to level 5 there, but was 2 levels down. Double the CS for Lina as there is on that Vladimir. In a great position, and this pick, this Jay's really paying off so far, the E9.
And now we see the shove coming down in bot side. Voxney, the scores rather low. Down a Caulfield's Warhammer as well, and it's pretty much the worst place to be in, as I'm going to have a lot of AD, not a lot of cooldown. There comes Vixen.
Vixen comes in with the flash onto Spark. Instant stun. Grand entrance knocks him up. The ignite comes down. Vixen tries to find the assassination off the heals there. Spark ticking down, but heals and survives the play. Vixen can't quite find the kill.
It just was not enough damage, and I think the big thing was with the heal unavailable, he thought that the ignite would be enough to burn down, but crucially, the shielding from UK Meal Deal and the peel keeps Spark alive. He'll lose a bit of plating here. Oh, that's a good hook.
That's a good hook. Grand's about the Grand entrance, but I mean, he's under tower. They don't have summoner spells apart from the ignite. It's just too risky. And now, Freezy3 with that death mark with a level over Vixen.
Vixen used both his summoners and his ult in that bot lane engage. So now he is so weak in this 1v1.
Gonna be the key thing is UK Meal Deal actually takes the hook. They've got that lantern to get the flay back onto him. UK Meal Deal will fall down and there. Tristan finds the kill.
Dead.
Not sure about that.
I can hear
play.
You got that was not great.
I mean, I guess the reason was he wanted to hold the wave.
But why Grand Entrance it? Just stand in the wave and then Grand Entrance away.
I don't know. I really don't know.
Well, after a great early play, UK Meal Deal seemingly dropping the ball down. Wondering what the communication was in between the teams.
Because I think he walked up and then he Grand Entrance out and then he got hooked at the end of the Grand Entrance. I'm pretty sure. But just disrespecting Shazin's Thresh and ends up paying for it and essentially giving over a free kill. So, bit of an oopsie daisy.
And that Dan Foxy has a really nice back as well. Picks up a BF sword, meaning that those auto attack trades are going to be absolutely massive. But we've been kind of ignoring Infinity as he's mainly been busy just farming up a storm after one successful gank and trying to go for the Mountain Dragon here, but the collapse is coming in.
Yeah, they are sending multiple members. Look for Vixen on that flank. They get themselves a knock-up, and the feathers are starting to fly. One kill picked up already onto Spark with the health bars low. Vixen finds the reset. The Feather Storm comes down. Den Voxney finds a kill as well, but he's low HP. UK Meal Deal runs away, and E9 take the fight.
Beautiful team fight coming out from E9. Shazien goes in initially, does end up dying, but he creates so much space for the team to get in position. Then Vixen actually found a 3-man on this second activation of the ult. Did so much damage and just secured that team fight for them. And now it's like he should just be able to easily pick up this dragon. Just have to be careful because 3z3 is walking down, but without ult, doesn't feel like he can chase down the Jarvan.
And this is really big because it does two things. It gives E9 a Mountain Dragon, meaning that any subsequent objective that they want to take is going to be faster, but it also puts them in the driver's seat of where they've been before. Den Voxney now finding a lead, the 10 CS combined with the call that he's going to cash in eventually. And his top lane is still looking so dire for Brelia.
Infinity's coming in, looking for the kill. The flash away from the shot blast, and Infinity finds the kill.
Yeah, baited in there. Lina knew he had enough damage to kill off Borrelia, but you had to land that shock blast. Great flash from Borrelia. Managed to survive, and then Infinity comes in to clean up this kill. And sure, Lina was dominating that lane, but giving over a lot of pressure, a lot of gold like that is not what you want to do, especially when Vladimir scales so well into this game.
It's a big risk. Has now picked up the Phage, meaning that Black Cleaver hopefully going to come soon. And I'm wondering whether or not we're actually going to see Lina go for an item that I've not seen for a very long time on the Jace. We see the Fairy Charm getting picked up. I might also just want that because it's a comfortable buy and resell it later.
Yeah, I think it's a tendency recently. A lot of AD carries do this, where they just build just a singular Fairy Charm just for the extra mana regen.
Yeah.
Sell it later on. It's pretty cheap. You get quite a lot of the gold back if you do sell it later, so not a massive investment.
You can afford to as well. But like you say, a lot of the pressure lost, but still a sizable gold lead here. And as we take the bot side, even with the first blood getting picked up there for Spark, then Voxy now 200 gold in the lead. Pretty much dead even across the board, though.
Yeah, well, Psyche
coming in huge.
Looking to get the Rift Herald. This might just be what they need to kind of crack this gold lead open here for E9. As Lina, with the push pressure in this bot lane, in this top lane, sorry, has been able to roam down and assist. And there's not just going to be an answer out here, but you can see Infinity's maybe thinking about going into this bot lane. Multiple members chasing in, but they're not going to be able to find a kill. And Rift Herald gifted over to E9. What do Nvision do?
I feel like you just put it down top. You can crack that turret and finish off pretty easily. There's no way Brelly can really defend.
So that's what they're doing.
The Jace will take it down super fast.
Trying to look for the kill as well.
Bit greedy.
It is a bit
little
greedy.
hard. Brilliant now with the Hemo Plague, with the Flashless.
Really don't like this play because now 3z3's coming.
Makes his way out, gets himself the Shadow down, the Death Mark into the Blood Pool. That's just an instant pop onto Lina. Keiki answers back though with the Martial Cadence, finds one quick kill onto 3z3. Now Borrelia running Psyche down as he's not going to get slowed. He flags and drags to safety. Psyche able to walk out.
I just don't get what they were doing there. Why did they go behind the turret and then let 3z3 get in position to counter gank? Imagine if Infinity was able to get there as well. That would have been so bad. Just throw the Rift Owl down and take the plates. There's no need to do some fancy flank.
Getting greedy there. Crucially, though, there's still 2 minutes left before the plates actually drop, so they can still use that Rift Herald to cash in those plates. As we now see Vixen getting a little bit closer to the Gunblade as well, going to be a big power spike for him. And fortunately for him, it was not his lane opponent that picked up the kill there. But Brella is going to skill so much more comfortably into this mid to late game now with a kill picked up of himself. And I mean, Lina, the chase, just, like you said, it's just going to fall off.
That CS lead is mitigated by that kill and that assist that went over to Brelia. And think about it, if they just used the Herald, they could have got 3 extra plates onto the Jace. The decision making really questionable. Now, it's like you're going to head into that bot side and make use of the Herald there. Should be able to get a lot of gold over to Voxney.
That's going to be the key thing as well. Funneling that gold onto your 2-1 Tristana, getting plates given over. And this might just be first turret blood here. With that explosive charge proc, they're actually able to do a lot of damage to the tower. And then Voxney should just be able to find first turret blood. But Vixen jumps onto 3z3, uses the Shroud. Perfect execution comes in. You have seen it before, but this time Vixen makes it work and he finds the kill.
Perfect timing. If you're looking at 3z3 and wondering, more's coming in.
Get charged back and he will fall. Infinity.
Immediate shutdown. And this time no Requiem, but it doesn't matter. Infinity says, I'm still here.
The jungler's still there to make Vixen's life difficult. But if you're looking at 3z3 and asking why didn't he ult, it had a couple of seconds left. As Vixen killed him, fight still going.
They got teleport to work with, the hooks on. Infinity starting to stack up that Conqueror. Buster shot back. The Hemo Plague lands onto multiple members in UK Mildew, getting the shields and the quickness off. Nobody on E9 dies, and Nvision just goes wrong.
You expect seeing a big Hemo Plague like that so much to happen, but this is a bit of a starved Vladimir. He doesn't have that much impact at this point in the game. And E9 able to get that kill onto Infinity and essentially just walk away.
And what's crucial there is Infinity, I don't know why he tries to contest it, because he has no onslaught of shadows. He doesn't have the flash available because he's not running it. So once you go in there as Vladimir, you're going in, and there's no way out for you. Shazin hits the hook there, another turret, and now we're starting to see the snowball that we want to see from E9 as they pick up the first turret in the bot lane. Brellia goes for a roam, doesn't actually find anything crucial. He uses his teleport as well. And now the gold lead is starting to balloon for E9. Now they need this because, like you said, their composition doesn't scale as well into the mid to late game. But they're starting to put more pressure on Nvision.
Absolutely. And this is more like the E9 we've seen. I feel like they do have more tools in the later stages because there isn't that Karthus they're going up against. They have that Tristana, that extra range is going to come in huge. And right now, look at the item difference between AD carries. I mean, yes, it's just a zeal between the Brawlers go, but I'm pretty sure Voxney is sitting on a fair chunk of gold. So when he recalls, he's going to have that 2-item spike. And it's going to be very difficult for Spark to keep up, especially when you think There's more damage on the build coming out from Nvision. He has that Infinity Edge already. There's really powerful crits. Right now, Spark has the extra CDR, but it's not going to be as useful when you're auto-attacking people.
The wave's getting cleared out. Now we can see E9. They're the ones in control of the gold. But when we look at this team, we look at Nvision, we think about how they play. They're normally the team that plays for the later game scaling when E9 are that early game advantage team. The 15 minutes has gone by so far and the gold lead in favor of Nvision, but in favor of E9, but can Nvision hold out here? It's Infinity on that flank with 3z3. They use that lantern to be able to disengage Lina. And they're holding onto this mid lane turret for as long as possible.
Liking the build here as well from Seiki, really going for the tanky build. Just go Cinderhulk, not trying to mess around with Warrior. You have so much damage from your team already with the Akali, a Fetristana, and a Jace that you don't really needed. Interesting here as well is that Lina, of course, gets that Executioner's Calling for the 1v1 against the Vladimir. But if they ever do decide to go for an extended skirmish or a team fight with the Jace, it means that you're also going to cut the healing from the Hecarim, which is actually really big, because if Hecarim isn't really fed and hasn't snowballed as hard, he's really reliant on the heal from Conqueror and his W to stay in those team fights and not get bursted down immediately.
I mean, I feel like even if you are fed, you're relying on that, but right now he's getting caught out.
Flagged and dragged up. UK Mildor unable to get to him with the shield. The Conqueror healing working wonders, but not enough as Vixen finds himself the assassination off. Sizen now goes in for the hook. The flag, drag, ignite as he uses that Featherstorm to blag out for the moment. The Spark is going to get taken down. UK Mildor doing a sprint, but he is taken out as well. And Nvision finds a double kill on Tristana. He's flashed in forward, finds a triple kill.
Huge team fight coming out from E9. Vixen starts it off, manages to get the kill, but is caught up. But then Nvision comes in to clean up, and he is fuming after last game. He is here to carry this game too for E9.
And this is Nvision who started this game off 0-1, and this is the player that we hyped up coming into this series. This big AD carry that can just snowball these leads. Psyche also having a really good game after last game where he wasn't really able to find an impact. Rele goes for the 1v1.
Going for it, has a fair amount of healing, but that Executioner's Calling doing a good job to cut it. Lina able to walk away from the fight. Rele trying to transfusion back into the sustain.
I kept waiting for the Hemoplague pop and like the heal coming back in.
Okay, do you see Infinity caught out at the start? Vixen manages to chase over, has to use the second ult charge, and that's why 3z3 heads over to him. It's an easy kill on that side of the map after the flashes. But if we look bot side, Shazian does so much, gets all of the ultimates away from the bot lane of Nvision, and then it's an easy cleanup for Nvision. So credit to Psyche and Shazian for setting that up, and then Nvision, he's not letting this Zed get away. He burned his flash, he burned his shadow, he burned his ult to get Vixen, and he will die for it.
Definitely, this game's been flipped on its head when you compare it to last game. It was Nvision who just had so much control, but E9 just playing back into their strengths, back into their early game, and Infinity, while it's not been a terrible game for him, he hasn't been quite as active. He hasn't been able to impact the map like he was on the Karthus. And 2-3 now. This game is starting to run away from him as he needs to finish up this Triforce. Needs to get this Sterix before he can kind of survive these extended trades he's been finding himself in.
And that's the thing, if you're going full damage Hecarim and you're behind and you're against a 6-1 Tristana who already has a Zeal, a Rapid Fire, and an Infinity Edge, you're not going to survive for long. That healing won't have a chance to come in because you'll just get blown up in a couple of auto attacks.
Especially with Lina also not just being off in the side lane, or this is where we've mainly seen it, but every now and then darts into the fight as well. And what I also like to draw attention to is that Psyche is going to go for the Knight's Vow, so they're also recognizing where the win condition is at the moment. Just make sure that Nvision gets through those team fights. And there is still a lot of damage available, right? If 3z3 can make his way on, if a taunt hits, there are possibilities for Nvision, but I gotta say, with how good E9 are looking right now, unless Nvision gets really overconfident and jumps forward, it should be a really hard sell for them.
Lina going for the fight versus Borrelia, but Borrelia now looking to sustain up. The Hemoplague goes pop, and it just does nothing. These grievous wounds, man, are just completely smashing Borrelia.
You're just fine with that, though, as Lina. You go for these trades, you back off as soon as the ult is used, you knock him away, and then you burn Vladimir's ult. That massive teamfight tool is off the table, and now E9 feel confident to push up.
3z3 goes in with the shadow, gets that death mark off. The flag and drag interrupts, and the Buster Shot comes down, and Shizen flays him for the kill.
That was insane. He got blasted from Nvision into the hook of Shazian. That was like ping pong at the highest level.
Psyche also making sure that there's no opportunity whatsoever as he uses his flash to be 100% certain that he gets the EQ combo on top of FreeZ3 as he tries to go in.
I question what Nvision can do, if they can do anything. They use the ulti back. A 2-man knock up at the turret will go down as Infinity keeps his life. 2 turrets have now crumbled on both the bot and the mid lane in just short space of time. And now only the base turrets stand here for Nvision. This gold lead has grown substantial, 8k in favor. UK Mildew's making the desperation play. Lina flashes away and he's out of there.
I hope we get a replay of that play earlier. It looked so insane.
Everything was so crisp.
It was the fact that Denvoxne altered him straight into the hook from Shazian. I want to watch it back and see exactly what happened to break it down, but just insane play. And
in slow-mo.
Yeah, 3v3 goes for the hero play on the Zed, trying to get that massive 1,000 gold bounty on Denvoxne, but unable to do much when the peel is there. And that is the real... We will see it here.
I want this in slow-mo. I want this in slow-mo.
The 3Z3.
It's going to happen. Look at Psyche's flasher as well.
Goes for the engage here, ult in, and then the rocket jump, or the knock-up rocket jump into the hook.
Oh!
That
Just
was
perfect.
Dirty.
Just perfect. He got locked down for the entire ult duration, wasn't able to do anything. Really clean play.
He missed the initial Shadow Slash as well, which was really bad for him. So
Yeah, but it was like the knock-up from Psyche into the ult from Denvoxne, straight into the hook. Just really clean. And this is the real talking point of E9 in this game, is Psyche, Denvoxne, and Shazian. That 3-man combo have been so strong together, and they will now take the pressure from their solo laners to start up this Baron.
they're looking to see if they can get this. Nvision sending multiple members down. Borrelia still has that teleport. It's 4k HP, and FreeZ3 has been spotted out on a ward. They use the shadow to spot it out, but it's 2k onto this Baron. Infinity looks to come over the wall, does have his ultimate if he wants to close that gap, but E9 keep the Baron tied up for the moment. Infinity goes in, tries to get the steal off. He can't quite secure it. Now Vixen jumps onto the backline. The Featherstorm gets called out, and 2 kills are picked up. They are melting through everyone as Vixen goes golden, and Nvision lose 2.
Flawless play from Vixen, burns so much on the back end, then takes Spark out after the ultimate, and then 3z3 tries to use the death mark, and the Zhonya's his edge. Flawless control, flawless play from E9. They don't look for Lina here.
They do get that charm, they do get that damage off onto him for the moment, but actually tries to turn it around. The blood pool gets used, the tides of blood as Lina will fall. That's Baron off 1.
Yeah, small saving grace though, because E9 are hammering the base of Nvision.
They might just look to close right here. Spark comes alive now, and we can see Borrelia closing another ulti. 2 Mountain Drakes able to take through that nice and quick FreeZ3. Finds himself a slow. Infinity just going to speedy pony away, but not going to go for the commit. And E9 hold out.
What we saw there as well is that while E9 was taking that Baron, Lina once again keeps Borrelia in a side lane. And we talked about Nvision. Once they get this Vladimir, they're able to find these miracle team fights. But because he's just forced to use the Hemoblade just to try and contest Jace's push, he can never actually join. He had teleport there, but he still didn't find his way into the Baron pit.
Now, the saving grace is, yes, they lost an inhibitor, but they didn't lose. They didn't lose...
They didn't lose the game.
Thank you. No, what they did burn was Lina. Lina now doesn't have teleport, doesn't have flash, doesn't have Baron. And considering how hard Borrelia has been getting pushed in by Lina, even though Lina's 0-3 and Borrelia's 2-0, they're still able to like just completely push Borrelia in. And now without Baron, it will mean that Borrelia will still be able to kind of hold this lane.
But then what do? You just swap the laner that does have Baron into the side lane and you push with the other 4.
Yeah, and it's going to work really well. So much damage on a Spark. And now you have all this poke from the Jace opened up into the mid lane.
What do you do?
Infinity's not even in the base. I think they need to look for an engage. If they lose this second inhibitor, it's going to be very hard to defend. But Spark's low HP and Infinity's not here yet.
Borrelia has ulti. They're waiting for Infinity. But look at Sparks. He's just so low. Has to force away the heal. And now this might just be that second inhibitor going down. The Shock Blast this time Doesn't quite find its mark, but E9 now rotating multiple members towards this bot side. This is it. Do or die. Ulti lands onto just Psyche for the moment as Vixen gets launched into. The dunk is down. The Spark uses his ulti. They've already found one onto the Hecarim as Freezy3 is going to go down. It's 2 kills picked up for E9. Denvoxney holds his life and Borrelia unable to find that assassination off. E9 may just have held back. They're onto this last turret as Borrelia being focused away. The Nexus will fall. E9 are not going down without a fight. 24 minutes on the clock and they take the win.
And that is the E9 that we expected coming into this series. A much more commanding and dominating performance. A strong early game, and they deserve to equalize the series.
Definitely, and it's so cool to see that this goes to a third game because I still feel like either team can... What are you guys being all lovey-dovey about?
I just looking at Orcs and it's just...
So happy.
I thought he was going to kiss me, I'm not going to lie.
I was looking at him and you were just looking right. He's talking, you're looking right at me and I was like,
honestly,
hey.
I was woken up really early this morning, my builders. So if I look tired, it's because I'm really tired.
You look smashing, Jay, but I was trying to make a point, if I may.
Continue.
Go for it, go for it.
Thank you.
What was your point?
No, I forgot.
You forgot.
I've been kidding. You can continue.
Wham bam, what a game coming out from E9. And they make this a series and the first one we've had because 2-0s going into this. It's a 1-1 now, and both these teams showing they really want to get in the UKLC. And who doesn't?
I mean, yeah, who doesn't? You know, we got
if you want to get involved in the UKLC, tweet us, #ForgeYourChampions. And we will potentially read them out on stream, or at least look at them.
Yeah, I need to actually have a check of that. It's going to be a long stream, isn't it?
And I got to say, after this game, especially when we switch the sides, I don't know for certain who's going to take us because even here, Nvision looked like they kind of had to drop on the Brotherhood early on. But then once we saw Denvoxney get unlocked, once we saw, like you said, Psyche really getting into his game on the Jarvan pick, and the top lane matchup for me was really big as well because Brelia, even though, like you said, they overextended that once with the Rift Herald play when she just dropped it, but instead tried to go for the dive. Besides that, Brelia was just never given a chance to get into his game. And that is key because that is something that the other UKLC teams weren't able to do.
Well, I think a big thing was as well is that E9 in the series yesterday against Darkspawn, when they started to make those mistakes, it really killed their momentum for a long time. Here, I feel like those mistakes didn't hamper at all. They still constantly kept pushing. And the big talking point for me has to be Denvoxney and Shazen, but then also Psyche. And that 3-man was just so strong together. Wherever they went, an objective was taken, kills were taken, and they just controlled the entire game. But one person I have to give a shout out to is Vixen on that Akali. It felt like every team fight, he did a lot of damage, sure, but it was the fact that he bought so much space so that Tristana could just sit back and auto-attack for free.
And just wait and get the recess and then just jump in and flash off the Zeds.
I think the key thing as well, actually, is game 1, it was really about the jungle and bot lane. Game 2, really about the jungle and bot lane. These are going to be...
It's almost like those are broken rules.
That's
coming from
right?
a bot laner.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be all to play for because the winner of the next game is going to be making it into the summer split of the UKLC. So we're going to cut to a quick break, and when we're back with game 3 of the series. So don't go anywhere. We'll see you in a second.